If developer Hack the Publisher was aiming to be a studio that you can't put in a box, then they nailed it with their upcoming release, Centum. Following the release of Dwarven Skykeep and Vengeance of Mr. Peppermint, don't think I could have predicted their next title would be an eerie point-and-click puzzle game, but here we are. However, after writing that, Centum is unlike any game that I've played in this genre, with a unique concept that rewards creativity and curiosity to progress. The result is a nightmarish experience that has me eager to play more.
Noisy pixel.
Centum exists in a strange reality that puts you in the head of a game developer. I think? Anyway, upon booting up the game, you have access to a virtual desktop with random files and instructions. This screen also acts as an in-game menu to manually save or exit the title. After closely reading the files, you're shown the next steps to progress. But there are other fun things you can try to do as you decode strange text files and ultimately prepare for the rules of this reality. You're encouraged across each screen to try new things, which might lead to a mistake, but progression will come in due time. Elements of this game that seem arbitrary at first make small connections later on, but in the meantime, you have a visual feast of wonderfully eerie pixel art set pieces that aim to immerse you in this puzzling world. Once you start up the in-game game, you find yourself in a prison cell, where each day you are visited by a judge who asks you a few questions. I think my only problem with the responses was that I didn't really know what they meant. Even after reading each choice option and holding on to the idea of who I think I wanted my character to be, I never really understood the results of my choices. Perhaps this causes changes in the narrative over time, but as it stands, we're all in this confusing mess together. Regardless of your dialogue choices, the writing is delivered in a somber way, which creates this depressing atmosphere. As much as the player character wants to escape from the prison, you'll likely feel the same way. However, the game branches outside of itself as the player character leaves the confines of the cell and finds themselves trapped in a room, developing the game they just played. Trying to understand the situation will likely only lead to more confusion, but I found that if I accepted this twisted reality, the world made a little more sense. That said, I underestimated the creativity and mind game skills of this developer because every question answered just led to more questions. As this hell of a world takes shape, you really have to wonder if it's something you want to explore more. For me, every completed puzzle and new narrative discovery kept me enthralled in figuring out this strange video game. Centum is a point-and-click adventure. You're allowed to explore the rooms you're in, but I rarely had to do any pixel hunting to find objects. There does seem to be an order in which you should do things, but I felt like I worked against that order as I progressed. I would say that the puzzle design incorporates environmental set pieces, sound cues, and found text with information that you should retain for future use. Items can also be found and used on specific objects as well. The challenge can be kind of high, but I got through each obstacle at a natural pace and was never stumped for too long. That said, with how loose the rules of this supernatural world are, I can imagine future puzzles being very challenging. There are also several mini-games that you get to play. I wouldn't call them groundbreaking or anything, but their inclusion is quite a surprise. And if you really suck at them, an easier mode is unlocked after a bunch of failed attempts that get you back to the point-and-click segments. Centum is a journey through the unknown. While playing, every instinct told me to run or turn away, but my eyes were locked on the screen. I was immersed in the reality that I nor the narrator could get a grasp on, but at least I wasn't alone. In the same breath, the puzzle elements made me feel smart, but reluctant to then complete them when progression just meant walking further into the unknown. Being a huge fan of games like Broken Sword and Myst piqued my initial interest in Centum, but this game definitely finds a unique place within the point-and-click genre. Centum is currently in development for Xbox Series X and PC to release later in 2024. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixels is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth and subscribe to keep up with all our future content. Now, enjoy some gameplay.
Noisy Pixel.